Live. What is up, everybody? This is At the Close. I'm Spencer Israel. I got Joy Elconin here. What's up, Jar Jar, Brian, Mitch, Helene, Dino, SW. SW is looking at the pot ETF, right? Actually, that had a pretty good week last week. But anyway, it is At the Close. It is your time to spend the last half hour of the day decompressing while the market does weird things. So you guys know what to do. Hit that like button for me, please, please. And let's get this show started. Where's my intro? All right, it is time for pre-market prep at the close.
Three consecutive highs, opened, matched yesterday's low, and then once it took out there, that's all the breakout momentum traders needed.
Joel, call today's show Everything Rally, right? Because
Man, I love you guys because you beat me up with my bad stocks, but I didn't even look at Docs today. And Michael Crockett says Docs, that's up 1260, but
I know.
did they already have earnings? They already had earnings.
Yeah, it was overnight, Joel.
Oh, it was last night?
Earnings were last night.
It's such a high. I can't look at that stock. It's just,
I didn't want to say anything this morning because I was worried I was going to jinx it, but I didn't jinx it. So it's up to $62, Joel. Look at
this stock is it's a heart attack, man. It's a heart attack waiting to happen. But they're buying everything. You know, there's some days, and this is good talking with Rob on the 1030 with stock odds. It's just like the market gets you conditioned certain thinking ways. Like it's going to be choppy. It's going to be range bound. You had an inside day yesterday. You went through the bottom of the range. You got bearish for like a nanosecond. And then it took out the top of the range. And then here you are. If you were fading today, you're going to get your head ripped off. So, you know, different styles, different markets. I hope Afrin's around. I hope he hung on to his Facebook. We talked about that today. But let's get to the equities, the SPOOs. Well, 77.25, high close of the rebound. Who remembers me mentioning that level this morning? Because I did. And I said 45.86 has been the high of the move. Boom, boom, boom. And, Aaron Bryan, I swear the pre-market prep course was well worth $200. Thank you, Joel Dennis. Need to thank you in the morning. We got another one. We're trying to narrow down a date. I got something for you guys though in the cooker. Crude up 62 cents at 89.98. Gold, I gotta get rid of my gold. Up 540 at 1833.30. Silver up 9 cents at 23.29. Bitcoin turns green up 390 at 44.730. Ethereum futures up $150 at 32.74. I always have on my top screen my top 11 components because they make up 25% of the index. And then I just got some other wayward symbols here you guys probably don't care about. One stock is in the red. That's Amazon by 545, but made a new high for the rebound. And then Johnson & Johnson, that's flat at 171.51.
Yeah, I like to keep this page open. Wait, let me fix it.
Sure.
I like to keep this open. This is my Benzinga Pro. Mostly for the left-hand side. These are pre-market gainers and pre-market losers, and I keep it open throughout the day because I like to because I definitely do not remember like what stocks were like the biggest movers in the pre-market. I never remember, and I like to see let's go back to this list and see, how do they behave after the open, right? So like end phase, right? Okay, end phase up 23% in today's pre-market session. Well, how did it behave today? Well, not great, Bob, turns out. So I like to keep this open because I always forget what the biggest movers are in the pre-market, and I like to keep it up as a reference point. But let's go to end phase, Joel, because that was one of your biggest gainers in the pre-market session today. It was actually your biggest gainer if you filter out for some super low price stuff. But end phase, straight sell off at the open here. Down, what is it down today from the opening bell? I think it's down.
Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, what is it down? I have a different tool up here that can help me with that. Down almost 10% from the open today.
Yeah, quite a turnaround. And we talked, man, I nailed. I wish I would have kept that line up there when I rebooted because I gave you that level. Look at all those highs in the same area. No, it didn't quite get up there. 190, right? No, I was wrong. But what you did, using that 180 as a bogey there, as your pre-market high, using that at a sale, maybe you
Yeah.
fretted a little bit when it went to 183.15. But once again, there, that's using your pre-market highs are uh it's good levels.
Yeah. Yeah. And so again, keeping an eye on what was moving up this morning. You see, Doximity kept going, Enphase gave it back. And that was the biggest thing that caught my eye. Notably, when you look at what's up and what's down today, and you noted Amazon as being the exception, Joel. So did the same as CVS, right? CVS was weak this morning. And when you pull up a heat map, it just sticks out like a sore thumb because I think it is your biggest loser today in the S&P by a mile. It's the only stock in the S&P today down more than 3%.
Which one?
CVS.
Oh, what's going on? Yeah, I don't understand. I miss stock. Wow, wow, wow. What are we doing here? Earnings? News me or just nothing.
Yeah, they had
Just
earnings this morning.
big run into it.
Yeah.
Everyone leaning the wrong way. Decent, give me the report again. Did they miss or just not good
It
enough?
was what was CVS? Their earnings were the EPS came in above, the sales came in above, the guidance came in more or less in line.
Yeah, just too much, too fast, new all-time high, everyone
Oh wow.
leaning the same
Oh wait,
way.
I missed this morning. Apparently they got served by the Department of Justice. That's something for related to practices of prescription opioids and other controlled substances. They're cooperating, yada yada yada. But anyway, I don't know why I didn't.
Well, the old Justice Department trick, that will raise a few eyebrows. But we'll just make it simple on this. I don't follow the stock a lot. I couldn't give you any levels because you peeled back from the high. But I'll just go this little move here. This has been a nice little move, right? That's kind of an unusual move, and it looks like the 105, 106 area. If it's stabilized here, then it's no big deal. We'll turn around and go back and fill the gap, perhaps. I'm a feeling, if this doesn't stabilize in a day or two at 105, 106, you got some more work on the downside. I don't know if you're going to get down to double digits or not, but important. Thursday, Friday, important days coming up for CVS. At least doesn't have to necessarily go right back up, which I don't think it is, but just see if it can hold in here, consolidate here. Oh, CVS 50% earnings was Vax. Uh-oh, we know that's not good. What's Pfizer doing today? That continuing down? Yeah, no, Pfizer's hanging in there holding 50. So that's a good point. Thanks for pointing that out
Great.
there. Who pointed that out?
That was Manuel. Yeah,
Oh no, Darren did. Darren F.
they both did. And so you look at CVS down 5%. Your first thing you think is, oh, Walgreens and Rite Aid, but they're not moving with the CVS today, which
No,
is an interesting
I
relationship.
no, they didn't move up. They didn't move down. I mean, these are. I know Nick Bellucci. I know some people like to trade this Rite Aid, but I don't. I can't. That chart doesn't look bad there. If you had long Walgreens boots, short CVS spread, that's looking pretty good today. And RAD. I don't even want to dignify it by looking at the symbol, but yeah, that's having a halfway decent day.
Yeah, so those were the names that jumped out to me this morning or today. We are going to save some time here in the next few minutes for ticker time. I just want to give a shout out to real estate. We never talk real estate on this show, but the XLRE is your top gainer today in the S&P 500. It is your top sector, XLRE. Go real estate, baby. We never talk real estate.
Rising rents, right? Uh, people can't afford houses. Like Dennis, he's gonna have to rent for the rest of his life.
Me too,
Uh,
Joel.
now, Spencer,
It's not, it's,
you gotta get married first, and
it's sad. It's
you,
sad because
then
it's true.
now we got to worry about you moving to New York because we know you love New York. But I'll talk you out of leaving New York or leaving us
Uh,
for New York.
for to those
Spencer
wondering,
loves New York, but he doesn't know the subway system. Remember when we went to the
Sure.
CNN building and you took me like
Well,
halfway around the Manhattan? Remember that?
I do remember that. This is what I'll say about that. Uh, I made a mistake. Okay. Okay. It happens to everyone. It happens to people that live in New York City. Ask them. Okay. The subway is notoriously difficult to understand. I do understand the subway. I just made a mistake.
I'm sorry.
I apologize.
I'm beating
I
I'm beating
apologize.
you up
It
on
was an
that.
honest mistake. We went in the wrong direction for a few stops. We fixed it. It's all good. But
I
I
didn't mean
think even
I didn't mean
people
to.
even people from New York will acknowledge that the subway is a pain in the ass.
Sorry. I didn't mean to go all Jason on you like that. Sorry about that.
Yep.
Uh, I gotta do something for Jar Jar here because
Yeah.
he is one of the most loyal
Sure.
pre-market prep plus listeners. So he asked me for a symbol. I do it immediately. Uh, and that, ooh, U-Haul, 600. You're trading a $620 stock there, huh? Uh, this area looks pretty big to me. I don't know. It's having a nice move today. 620.29, 619 was your high here. Not sure what the news is today. Really, it's kind of a 2 day move, but kind of not really because that wasn't a big move yesterday. But I think you got some open real estate above 620. That's what I'm looking at. Got to get above that 620. A close above 620 would be even better.
For those that were wondering, the XLRE top holdings are PLD and American Tower, AMT. Prologis and American Tower are your top two holdings in your real estate sector uh, today. So, or not today, but every day. But you know, movers today. So there we go. Chat's asking about Disney. I've made my stance clear. I'm not particularly thrilled. I'm cautiously optimistic. Keyword there is cautiously about tonight's report. We will be
Yeah.
seeing that. But I don't know I'm worried. I'm long term bullish, but I'm worried.
I don't know. You guys like it.
Yeah.
I just, when it was up at that 180, 200 level, I just didn't feel comfortable owning it. And I know you guys did. And, it's discounting. I don't know what they're going to say. I don't know what earnings are. I would take it. I would like to see it lower. 120, 130. I don't know. It might have missed the boat on this one. But not, and obviously not sure the report. If you do get some crazy pop, at least the first time up,
Yeah.
you had the gap down here, and then you had what, four highs in the same area. So I like this 152.50 level. I know that's a little ways away, but if you get a pop there, a drop, uh, 140. It looks like the 130 bios stepped up to like 135 ish, and then oh man, we got to get a chunk on before the report, so they stepped up to 140. So that's what I'm looking at in the House of Mouse.
Yeah. I'll bring up the calendar for tonight. Again, this is probably the biggest night of this week in terms of earnings. Where's my graphic? There it is. Disney, Uber, Twilio, Mattel. Zynga is not interesting because they're being bought. Equifax is whatever. MGM is interesting. Tomorrow morning, you get staples, right? Coke, Philip Morris, Pepsi, and then Twitter is after the close.
Yeah, let's talk about Twitter for a second here.
Yeah.
Spencer and I we're hawking it. I don't know. I don't own it anymore. Thank God I sold that thing finally at
Oh man,
56.
Joel, when you saw that, I was so happy for you.
Yeah,
I was.
that was just
You
that's
rode that
just
thing all the way down and then all the way up.
it's yeah. So
Yeah.
if I was a wild man,
Yeah.
I'd lead long. I mean, I just don't know. I mean, they always could kitchen sink it. And we looked at the options, and we looked at the 41s, and they wanted a lot of juice, right? Like 160, 170, something like that for Friday. But if you go out another week and you get the 41s, you're going to pay up another 20, 30 cents, but at least you got another week, if it doesn't go. So I don't know. Huge open interest at 38, 39, and 40. We'll see what kind of pinging action that has. Don't know what the catalysts are for Twitter for it to have a good quarter. The Olympics are going on now, so that would be um,
I don't know. It's not really.
reflected. Next quarter, I don't know. You know what the number I can't. This is amazing in Twitter. It IPO'd at 40. It went to 44. It went to like 13, right? And then it had its super rally, and then it comes back down to 40. I mean, it's just a magnet level in it. So that's my thoughts on Twitter. No position, no long-term position, no short-term position, no position at all.
Can I show you this chart I got from my friends at Visible Alpha? I asked, they're great. I asked them to send me stuff, and they send me stuff just for fun. They sent me this chart. I asked them if they could show me like what Twitter's monetizable daily active user growth was. This is user growth. All right, this is not total users. This is user growth. So the red line here shows the year-over-year growth in monetizable DAUs. The blue bar is their total DAUs. But I'm more looking at the red line here. Look at the and this is going back to 2016, mind you.
Horrible.
Look at the uneven growth. I should note that the right half of this chart is projected. The left half of this chart is actual. So this is the right half is the future. The left half is the past. But just look at the uneven growth rates. Obviously, they had this huge boom, right? That was COVID, right? Really, because the main the big growth happened like
Yeah.
Q1, Q2, 2020. You know, this huge boom in daily active users. But like it's just uneven if you go back the last 5 years. In fact, the growth rate was trending broadly down from 2016 to 2018. So and we've obviously come well off the high, the COVID high in the last few quarters. So it just, uneven growth rate, not what you want to see for a company that depends on user growth to justify its valuation. So I don't know.
Can you pull up Pro here
Yeah,
for Twitter for the earnings?
yeah. What about You want to look at the history?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me a second to get it on the
Yeah,
screen.
because this is
All
what finally just pushed me over the edge with this thing.
right, Twitter
Uh
earnings histories. So
yeah, where is it?
let's look at here, I'll zoom in for you. Let's look at the EPS column here.
Yeah, I'm not so much concerned about EPS because they
All
can
right,
do
fine,
funky
fine.
numbers.
You want revenue?
But
Okay,
I
fine.
mean, come on.
Okay, so
It's taken
let's
them
just
all
compare.
this time to make $1 billion? To make $1 billion with all those, look at
Yeah,
that.
yeah. So
Eh,
let's just compare. The last quarter we have obviously is Q3 because they're gonna report their Q4 tomorrow. So Q3 they had 1.2 billion in revenue. Let's
Not
compare that
bad.
to the prior year of 936 million, the prior year of 823, prior year. So they are growing. It just it hasn't been the hockey stick growth that Facebook had. That's probably
Yeah.
the biggest thing that's weighed on Twitter over the years is the fact that people compare it
Yes.
to Facebook and it's not Facebook.
And you know what? It will come out, and it also it will have. Let's say I'm just talking theoretically here. It has a quarter of like 1.7. Everybody, oh, I gotta own it. I gotta own it. And then it goes up $10 or whatever. But I don't know. That was the thing.
Mhm.
It took so long to get a bill. I mean, they come in under a bill tonight, and this thing is gonna get
Well, that would be
tagged.
that would be a 33% miss. So that would be bad. That would be really bad.
What
Because
about
yes,
spaces? What about spaces?
do you ever so I was on Spaces last night. I'll go there like every so often just to see. Like I gotta say, like there was not a lot there of interest. Like I look at these spaces, I was on it, and I think the largest room I saw last night in terms of number of people hanging out was like 90, like
Yeah.
90 people
I
were
think Aaron
watching.
wants to say something. Aaron wants to say something.
Aaron, what are you doing? Get out! What are you doing, man? Get out of my shot! Get out of here! You want to hop on? Put on a headset. Don't stand behind me. What is he doing? What is he drinking? I don't even know, Ron John. What are you drinking, man? Get out of here. He says he's drinking coffee. The point was, yeah, Twitter Spaces and like 90 people hanging out in a room. There's like a dozen rooms, and I don't know. It's just like there
Mitch
wasn't.
tried to get us on that once, and of
It's a
course,
good idea, but like I was again like 9 o'clock on a Tuesday night. I guess I would have. I don't know when the peak time to go on to Spaces. Maybe that's
How
not
about
it.
this Dorsey reaction? I put this up here. This has been up. This has been up there for a long time. The initial reaction, right? We remember I think he even traded like higher in the pre-market that day too. And then it's just never recovered since then. But we'll see. Should be an interesting report as always.
Yeah. Okay, we had a few tickers from the chat.
Let's do them. Let's do our chat. Let's make our chat happy.
Someone asked about A space B asked about Chegg CHGG. They had their earnings. Was it yesterday or the day before? When was
Our
Chegg?
buddy,
It
what
was
David?
Monday. It was Monday. You know what's notable? So you know what? I was gonna mention this on Monday, but I didn't because I wasn't sure if it was going to end up being relevant or not. How did Chegg do? Okay, so they actually beat. So it's good because what I was going to say on Monday was, hey, Chegg used to email us like every single quarter, like, hey, our earnings are next week. Can we come on your show? And then they stopped doing that for like a while. And then that was also when they started missing their numbers or when their growth was slowing. But they did beat. So that theory doesn't hold water now. But anyway, what's the stock doing?
We top ticked that thing, right? When did we have that guy on?
We had him on a couple of times in a few different shows.
I think we had him up when it was in the 80s and 90s.
Let's check. Let's check
The
the.
Benzinga
We
fade indicator.
we had him on in August of 2020.
I got a project for Bert. Is Bert busy? Have Bert. I want him to do a chart, a correlate, something in Pro, where we can, when a CEO comes on the company,
Yep.
where the stock is 1
Yep.
month, 2 months, 6 months, and a year later.
Yep. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, companies want to do press when things are good. They don't want to do press when things are bad. Shocker. Breaking news at 11.
Who's that crazy one that you guys did some stuff for? And they just had the wildest IPO. KSCP or
Nightscope. Okay, so Nightscope. I did try. I emailed William, Bill, but he after the IPO he took like 2 weeks off. He went on vacation, so he's. We'll get Bill back on the show.
No comment.
I
No
promise.
comment.
I promise we'll get Bill back on the show.
Look at that. Whew. Oh, I gotta get that chart off my screen. What else? Give me something else. Before I say something I shouldn't say.
Hex 214 Pony, we are working on getting BBIG, but they kind of are a pain in the ass to deal with. So that's all I'll say about that. Did you ever give a Chegg level?
Oh, Chegg. Yeah.
Yeah.
Need a good old pandemic in Chegg, right? I mean, this is just symbolic of what's going on, right? Some of these beaten down what everyone loaded up on January. This did okay, but it went down in January. 2-day run. I mean, how high can this thing go? I'll just give you one target for me, and this is the only thing I can see right now. My chart 34.34. That's your next daily chart. Is it way too early to figure out a 50% retracement? Yeah. Are we going back to a pandemic lockdown? No, I don't think people, that it caught lightning in a bottle with the pandemic. I think remote education is good, and it's good. That's what I'll say. But I don't know. I wouldn't want to be short it. Next target, we can follow after that. That's my next target. But that's been a 4-day run. Pretty good. If you're worried about locking in some profits, like if you did bottom tick this, why don't you at least keep an eye on the closes? See if it if it starts to make 2-3 closes, like right at 33, I'd look for like an inside day and then a little consolidation and see what happens.
All right. Twilio. G-Man is asking for your thoughts on Twilio. Knowing that they report earnings here tonight. Let's look at the expected move real fast on Twilio. Go to my options chain.
I'll go wide. I'll say 213, 214 on a pop.
$32, $30 to $32 on the expected move here for Twilio.
Wow. So you need 232. to break even on the upside and what 168 on the downside. I mean, I'll say 213, 213 and 220 potential resistant levels. I think if they kitchen sink it, they got bad quarter, we're guide and loader for a year, we're never going to make any money again. I think you find some buyers around, perhaps, maybe, possibly find some buyers at the low of the move, 172.61. But I'd call it once, like if you really feel like you need to own this, 172.61 up to 174, 175 if you're looking to work on the edges in Twilio. Did Raz ever sell his? Do you know?
I don't know. It's funny. Whenever I ask Raz, whenever Raz and I talk, he'll respond to me, except when I ask him to come on to come on back on the stream, and then he conspicuously ignores me. So
is he banned?
No, he's not banned. I've asked him to come on the show like 3 days in a row now, and he responds to other messages, but not the message where I ask him to come.
I'll call him.
Do whatever at this point.
He's busy.
We got 2.5 minutes left in the session. What
did
else?
Facebook bottom? I wish Adnan had this one. He picked it up at 218 yesterday. The first thing I told him was, hey, you got to get through the previous day's high. And that's exactly what it did. And it did open up. Next target's 238.30. Maybe it was the Ivan talk this morning. Maybe Ivan turned this stock around.
Hey, speaking of Ivan, did you see the Nautilus today? It's up 7%.
Oh, jeez, I was afraid of that.
It's not crazy, but it got to $6.
This is when he went. Oh, I next. How's Peloton doing? I don't want to talk about it. Peloton probably giving me back to John LeGrasse when he's beating me up over my Peloton holding.
Look, people are allowed to have trades and investments. Everyone take a chill. Everyone take a chill pill. All right, jeez.
Yeah. I don't know. It went right on the session and came back. So still some fight at Peloton. Look at 40.35. That was your high. That's, made a lower high. So I don't like that. It's having an update, but I don't like that it made a lower high.
All right, this is one. I feel like we talked about this one the other day. Oh no, we talked about it this morning. You're right. Yeah, thank you. NEWR for Doug Kyle. That was your big disaster of the day.
Oh, new relic.
Yeah.
Did they buy the dip?
Earnings. They had the earnings. No, they didn't buy the dip at all. So, man, the EPS came in below estimates. The sales came in above estimates, but their guidance was weak. Holy mackerel. Consensus estimate for the guidance was a 2-cent EPS loss. They said, no, not going to be a 2-cent loss. It'll be like a 22-cent loss for the current quarter. Sales guidance for the year was fine, but the earnings guidance was very light for the quarter and for the year. So that's why
the company just gave you bad news. I think you get a shot at 70 in this. I think
20 seconds. 20 seconds left in the session, Joel, and we are
good day.
Yeah,
and look at the spoos. Listen, the spoo gods listen to my numbers. I said the high close for this recent rebound has been 77.25, and you know what? They're improving on that. Look, they're just going to be close. So going into Friday, we have some CPI or something tomorrow, right?
Or something. Yes, we do have CPI tomorrow. Estimates are around 7.5%.
Yeah,
so we'll see. All right, that's a wrap for us here. Everyone, do me a solid and smash that like button. Hit subscribe if you haven't already. Joel, I'll catch you guys. I'll catch you tomorrow. Everyone, I'll catch you tomorrow. We got Money Mitch going live right now with special guest Christopher Yule. This video will end a redirect to that show, so stay tuned for that. And any questions, comments, concerns, email us, shows@benzinga.com. Check out Benzinga Pro, free 2-week trial, pro.benzinga.com. And that's all I got. Everyone have a great rest of your day. Catch you tomorrow.